fat loss and generally getting results with your training and diet. I think probably in the fitness industry at large, I think a fault of us coaches is that we tend to confuse the terms simple and easy. So what I mean by that is realistically the actual theory of fat loss and improving your body's health is pretty simple, really. Number one, we need to make sure that we've got this is the amount of energy you're eating, this is the amount of energy you're expending. We just need to create a slight imbalance, maintain that as we go, and then obviously body fat will come off and weight will come down. Obviously, in terms of diet, we want to make sure you have as many micronutrient dense foods as possible. So that's basically stuff that's unprocessed, lots of lean meats, fish, fresh vegetables in your diet, and fruit to get your vitamins and minerals, because that helps improve your health. And if your health's better, you can train harder. Carries on. Obviously, makes it easier to lose your fat. So, really, the kind of theory and idea behind it really is pretty simple. In general, in my opinion, diet really is pretty simple. People like to make it complicated because I like to, make it sound like they've got some fantastical secret that they're going to sell you and charge you lots of money for. Which is why every year we get a new fad diet coming along. But I think, like I said, the problem is I think people tend to confuse simple with easy. So because a concept is simple to understand, it does not mean that the actual physical process of doing it day in, day out is actually going to be easy, and that's where it falls down. That's where the big battle comes with, especially with fat loss. If you've been big for a long time, or being realistically, even if you were lean at some stage, that fat's come on probably over a number of years. It hasn't come on suddenly overnight, and sure as hell isn't going to come off straight away. So the hard bit comes in being consistent with that calorie deficit, being consistent with focusing your food on micronutrient dense foods as much as you can to get your vitamins and minerals, and then just sticking with it. That's where the battle comes in, because we've all got temptations. There's all times, and I find it an absolute struggle to train. I don't want to go and do my hill sprints, don't want to do my weights, don't want to do whatever it is. Everyone gets that, and everyone gets problems. Sometimes I might feel a little bit ill, this, that. I can make up a million and one excuses, same as you, not to train. And same comes with diet. You can go out and it can be like, my friends went out but they had bread, and then we had like 4 courses, and then we had like 3 bottles of wine between us and stuff. End of the day, we all get those temptations. It's down to you, because at the end of the day, it is your body and your results. You've got to have that little bit of willpower just to say to yourself, what's more important to myself, is that I cave in now, or that in 6 weeks time, 12 weeks time, where I've got the results. And that's the choice you always make in those situations when it does get hard. You don't want to train, you don't want to follow a diet plan. You just got to say to yourself, what do I prefer? Do I prefer to have results, or do I have a load of excuses? It's as simple as that. Sounds harsh, but that's where the battle comes. The theory behind everything is very, very simple, but the actual process of doing it is not easy. So that's probably one of the reasons why probably the last year or so I've changed the way that I present what we're going to do with new clients. I'm very honest with them and just say, look, it's pretty simple just to do this, and this, but the day-to-day is where you're going to fall down, because that's the hard bit, sticking with it. And we all have little bumps along the way. It's never a smooth journey. But it's about how you respond to those bumps. You could just throw the towel in, I had a little bit of, my friend gave me a cupcake or whatever, and then, before I knew it, the whole rest of the day I was just eating shit. That's obviously the wrong way to go about it. Best way to do is just say, I had a cupcake with my friend, but the rest of the day I got back on my diet and it didn't bother me. I just put it behind me and moved on. And that's the hard bit, That's where it's definitely not easy. Is that day to day, staying on track, overcoming the little bumps, and not just throwing everything out the window every second chance that you get. Okay, so remember, fat loss is simple, but it's not easy. You've got to stick with it.